claims. And once we pass that, I think there will be no reason for investors to invest in the Philippines. I think we competitive to Vietnam insofar as attracting investments are concerned.
When we invest in Global South, and first of all, why do we invest in that? Because we see 2/3 of the investment opportunity is in Global South. 85% of the world population lives there, and only 1/3 of the capital is chasing that opportunity, because most of the larger funds or private equities are chasing Northern America and Western Europe, right?
The concern more is, I guess, just red tape and everything else. So hopefully those are being fixed, but those are being addressed by the green lanes. There's even this thing that the PPP Center and NED are doing, where they're working on getting private sector flagship projects.
Everybody's looking at the future. The future is AI. The future is technology. And that means you need power. Okay? But the cost of power in the Philippines is unfortunately high, $15 per megawatt per hour, composed to Vietnam's $5, which is up now to $7. But that's primarily because it's subsidized. Okay? But if you'd like to entice foreign investors, the first question is the cost of power.
We're quite busy, especially with the new PPP code and its implementing rules and regulations. We're literally in the middle of a transition phase. I know it's almost been a year since the law was enacted. The IRR became effective in just this year, April 2024.
We see digital payments as the pathway to financial inclusion. It leads to bank accounts, and then potentially, once you have a bank account, you can borrow, and then you can get insurance, you can get other things. And then we're now introducing a second initiative, which is open finance.
And for that question, for those that will not continue, it's because slow connectivity and the fees. So in terms of the connectivity, while the BSP is not directly falls squarely in this initiative, we are in constant collaboration with the DICT in terms of aligning with their projects. If you know the eGov and its intention to digitalize or to put in place this important infrastructure. First of all, congratulations to the asset for having me here. Actually, the discussion were really stimulating because the topics, these are really important discussion that should be discussed by various stakeholders. So for me, I'm happy to be here and also provide my views and provide some updates on what is happening in the digital payment landscape of the Philippines, which is a key contributor to financial inclusion.
The development of the capital market is not that high, but the Filipinos are really keen on getting high reward investment, and that's what we're trying to work on right now. We had this strategy also, aside from the getting memorandum of agreement with the DepEd. We also engage with local governments.
Collaboration is always important, and forums like these are essential in nation building and keeping the Philippine economy growing.
One of the key things that we notice is that at the upper tiers, after from the anchor point and down to the dealers and sellers, where most of our entrepreneurs live, there is really a lack of, and this is an open finance favorite of mine, data portability. So I'm not going to go into data sharing because that gives many bankers and other people the heebie-jeebies. The questions, especially the session before us, was really interesting just to get that larger view of how Philippine business is and where it's at and where it's going. But the panel itself was great as well. It was good to hang out with the SEC and the BSP people. We always interact with them at Union Bank. And the audience was very interesting, that there was enough diversity so that the questions that came in touched on things that we didn't think would be touched on. The uniqueness, I think, is the diversity and more importantly, I think the openness of the conversation. The hosts were great in taking the not so easy path in some questions and making us answer in a more forthright and frank manner, which is always good for the conversation. So that was great.
I guess first and foremost, we need to do a lot on in terms of the investor relations side. Obviously, there's a lot of interest in the Philippine economy, but also a lot of challenges for investors with regards to some of the things that we discussed earlier in the panel. But I guess we need this kind of interaction with investors and also with policymakers so that we can be able to improve on the what we need to reform or to change so that we can attain our economic goals over the medium to long term.
I always look forward to attend this conference. We learn a lot of things, new insights from industry practitioners, and it helps us a lot in doing our business.